before the noise begins, before your phone lights up, before the world demands a piece of you, there is a sacred moment. A moment that belongs only to you. Most people never notice it. They open their eyes and are pulled straight into yesterday's worries. Emails, news, traffic, bills. The mind starts running before the feet even touch the floor. But Buddhism reminds us there's a doorway between sleep and wakefulness, a space where peace is still possible. And the first voice you hear each morning should be your own. You can't always control your day, but you can choose your first thought. That choice becomes the tone of your entire morning and the energy that shapes your world. So, before you scroll, before you speak, before you stand, pause. Listen. Feel the quiet behind the noise. In this video, we'll explore 7 sacred truths you can tell yourself every morning, inspired by Buddhist wisdom and grounded in modern psychology. These aren't just affirmations, they're gentle codes to reprogram your mind for clarity, gratitude, and calm. Because each sunrise is more than a start, it's forgiveness from the universe. A reminder that you can begin again, no matter what happened yesterday. So as the light touches your face, take one conscious breath. Inhale the promise of new life. Exhale everything that no longer serves you. Let go of the rush, let go of the noise. You're not late, you're right on time for this very moment. The Buddha once said, "Each morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most." So today, let's choose thoughts that heal instead of harm. Let's choose peace before productivity. Let's choose awareness before automation. Because when your mind wakes up before the world does, life starts to feel different. More intentional, more spacious, more alive. Welcome to your new morning. Welcome to the practice of presence. Welcome to the 7 truths that can change the way you wake up and the way you live. Every sunrise is forgiveness from the universe. No matter what you said yesterday, no matter what you failed to do, the light still finds you. It whispers, "Begin again." In Buddhism, the idea of rebirth isn't only about lifetimes, it's about moments. Each breath you take is a tiny reincarnation. The inhale is birth. The exhale is release. And, somewhere in between, you are free. But most mornings, we forget that freedom. We wake up already carrying yesterday's guilt, unfinished tasks, arguments, and fears. We scroll through headlines before we even scroll through our own mind. We look for the world, but forget to find ourselves. The Buddha taught that nothing is ever truly fixed. Each moment is a chance to return, to breathe, to reset, to start again. When you open your eyes tomorrow morning, don't rush. Don't let yesterday drag you back into its gravity. Instead, sit up slowly. Feel the sheets, feel the air. Place your feet gently on the ground. And whisper with love, not force, "I begin again." That simple phrase resets your entire nervous system. It tells your brain, "I am safe." It tells your heart, "I am forgiven." And it tells your soul, "I still have time." Science agrees. Neuroscientists have found that morning is the most flexible time for your mind. The first 20 minutes after waking, your brain is like soft clay. Every thought you choose in that window shapes the rest of your day. So choose peace. Choose renewal. Choose to begin again. You might say, "But I've made too many mistakes." Or, "It's too late for me to start over." The truth? The moment you realize you've drifted, you've already returned. That realization is awakening. In Zen they say, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. That's not about perfection. It's about remembering that every fall is part of the path. The dust on your knees is evidence that you're still walking. So when you wake, take one deep, conscious breath. Inhale possibility. Exhale regret. Let that breath mark your rebirth. Let the sunlight touch your eyelids like a gentle blessing. You are not the person you were last night. You are not defined by who you used to be. You are the awareness watching it all change. Every morning, say softly, I begin again not because I failed, but because I'm alive. This is your second chance. This is your true morning. And peace begins exactly here. Before caffeine, before news, before anyone says your name. There is your breath. The oldest friend you've ever had. The one that's been with you through every joy, every heartbreak, every silent moment of your life. In Buddhism, breath is more than air. It's the bridge between body and mind. The thread that holds you to the present. When you lose touch with your breath, you lose touch with now. And now is where peace lives. Most people breathe unconsciously. Fast, shallow, distracted. They live the same way, fast, shallow, distracted. But when you breathe consciously, the world slows down to match you. The Buddha called it mindful breathing. When your mind wanders, come back to the breath. When you feel overwhelmed, come back to the breath. When you forget who you are, come back to the breath. It's not a metaphor. It's physiology. Each deep breath sends a signal to your nervous system, you are safe. It slows your heart rate. It quiets your mind. It activates the vagus nerve, your body's peace switch. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, reach for your breath. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 2. Exhale gently through your mouth for 6. Repeat this 3 times. Feel your body arrive where your mind already is. Your breath is your anchor. It doesn't stop the storm, but it keeps you from being swept away. When chaos rises, you don't have to. When the world speeds up, you can slow down. Your peace is not out there, it's in the rhythm that has never left you. There's an old Zen saying, when you breathe in, you are born. When you breathe out, you die. Between those 2 breaths lies your life. That's how close presence is, just 1 breath away. Try it right now. Inhale, feel your chest rise. Exhale, feel the tension melt. Notice how your breath doesn't rush. It doesn't fight. It just flows like time itself. And maybe that's the lesson. To live like your breath, gentle, steady, and present. Not pushing, not clinging. Simply flowing. Because peace doesn't come from silence around you, it comes from the silence within you. And every breath is a doorway back to that silence. So, when the day begins to pull you in 100 directions, come back to this. Inhale, calm. Exhale, control. And whisper softly to yourself, my breath is my anchor. Traffic doesn't ruin your day. Your reaction does. Words don't break your peace. Your attachment to them does. The world doesn't steal your calm. You give it away. This is one of the most powerful truths in Buddhist teaching and one of the hardest to live. We can't always control what happens to us. but we can always control how we meet it. Each morning, the universe gives you two choices. You can react or you can respond. Reacting is instinct. Responding is wisdom. When you react, you surrender your peace to every small disturbance. When you respond, you reclaim your power quietly, gracefully, completely. Imagine this. You're driving to work. A car cuts you off. Your heart races, your jaw tightens, your mind explodes with thoughts like, "How dare they?" But what if, instead, you paused and took one slow breath? What if, for just a moment, you remembered, "Nothing controls me unless I let it"? The driver fades from your awareness. Your heart slows down. And peace returns not because the world changed, but because you did. That pause, that single conscious breath is freedom. It's the gap between impulse and wisdom. The Buddha called this gap the space of liberation. It's where awareness lives. Every day, the world will test you. A rude comment, a broken plan, a disappointing message. You cannot stop those waves from coming, but you can learn to surf them with calm. When you say, "Nothing controls me unless I let it," you're not pretending that problems don't exist. You're simply refusing to be their prisoner. In neuroscience, this practice has a name-response flexibility. It's the ability to stay calm when your brain's alarm system lights up. Each time you pause instead of reacting, you strengthen that circuit, the part of your mind that chooses peace over panic. So tomorrow, before the world begins to pull at your emotions, plant this seed. I am the guardian of my peace. Say it out loud if you can. Whisper it if you must. And when something tries to shake you, traffic, gossip, deadlines, or disappointment, return to this truth. You don't have to give away your calm so cheaply. Breathe. Observe. Respond. It doesn't mean you ignore injustice. It means you face it without letting hatred guide your hand. It doesn't mean you suppress anger. It means you transform anger into clarity. You act, but you act from awareness, not from impulse. There's an image in Zen, the mountain in the storm. The rain hits it, the wind roars around it, lightning flashes across the sky. But the mountain doesn't move. It doesn't chase the clouds. It simply remains. That's what peace looks like. Not silence, but stability. When you master your inner world, the outer world loses its power over you. No insult, no delay, no disappointment can steal your balance unless you open the door. So today, lock that door gently. Let peace be your default setting. When life comes rushing in, smile softly and say, "Nothing outside me can disturb my peace unless I allow it." And with that sentence alone, you take back the keys to your own mind. You can't hate yourself into becoming better. You can only love yourself into becoming whole. Every morning, we wake up with two voices inside us. One is the critic, cold, sharp, relentless. It reminds you of every mistake, every flaw, every time you fell short. The other voice is the healer. Gentle, patient, loving. It says, "You did your best, you are learning, you are human." The voice you choose to listen to shapes the person you become. In Buddhism, compassion doesn't begin with others. It begins with yourself. The Buddha said, "You, yourself, as much as anyone in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." Yet so many of us start our mornings already punishing ourselves. We replay yesterday's failures in our mind. We carry guilt like a backpack that gets heavier every sunrise. We whisper silently, "I should have done better." And before the day even begins, our peace is gone. But perfection is not peace. Perfection is a mirage forever running ahead of you, no matter how fast you chase it. Kindness, however, is always within reach. So tomorrow morning, before the critic wakes up, let kindness speak first. Sit up in bed, place your hand gently on your heart. Feel it beating quietly, faithfully keeping you alive. And whisper to yourself, "I choose kindness over perfection." Say it as a promise. Not to excuse your flaws, but to embrace your humanity. When you make a mistake, pause. Don't ask, "What's wrong with me?" Ask, "What can I learn from this?" That shift from judgment to curiosity transforms your entire inner world. Psychologists call this self-compassion. It's not weakness, it's mental strength. Studies show that people who practice it recover faster from setbacks, handle stress better, and grow more resilient over time. Why? Because the mind blooms where it feels safe. And kindness is safety. When you scold yourself harshly, your brain locks into defense. It shuts down creativity. But when you speak kindly to yourself, it relaxes. It opens to possibility. It learns. In the language of Buddhism, kindness is the soil, wisdom is the flower. Without softness, nothing can grow. So let go of the idea that you need to be perfect to be worthy. You don't need to fix everything to deserve peace. You only need to show up with honesty and love. Maybe you spoke too sharply yesterday. Maybe you broke a promise even to yourself. Forgive that. Not because it's okay, but because holding on keeps you trapped. Release it the way you exhale stale air before taking in the new. When you choose kindness over perfection, you become softer but not weaker. You become more real. And in that realness, your peace grows. Visualize this each morning. Close your eyes. See a warm golden light in your chest. With every breath, that light expands, filling your entire body. As you inhale, say silently, "May I be gentle." As you exhale, say, "May I be free." That's not imagination, that's medicine. Every kind word you give yourself rewires your brain for peace. And here's the paradox: the gentler you become with yourself, the stronger you become for others. When your heart stops fighting its own reflection, it finally has room to love. So tomorrow morning, as the sunlight brushes your skin, remember this: you are not here to perform. You are here to awaken. And awakening begins not with control, but with compassion. Say it one more time, slowly, meaningfully. I choose kindness over perfection. Because the most peaceful life isn't the flawless one, it's the forgiven one. Comparison is the thief of peace. And yet, every morning, millions of us wake up and open the door for it. We scroll. We measure our lives against strangers we'll never meet. We convince ourselves that happiness lives somewhere outside, in someone else's house, someone else's body, someone else's success. And in that chase, we lose the very thing we're looking for. Buddhism calls this tanha, craving, the endless hunger of the mind that whispers, just a little more. More money, more love, more recognition. But the more you feed it, the hungrier it becomes. Peace begins when you realize you were never empty to begin with. The space you tried to fill was already full of life. So, tomorrow morning, before you open your phone, open your heart. Place a hand over your chest. Feel your pulse steady, faithful, alive. That rhythm is proof that you already have everything you need. Say quietly to yourself, I have enough, I am enough. The first half is gratitude. The second is acceptance. Together, they end the war inside you. Because the truth is, you cannot be at peace while you are at war with yourself. And no amount of success or admiration can fill that battle's silence. In Buddhist teaching, this craving is the root of suffering. We suffer not because we lack, but because we believe we lack. We suffer because we confuse wanting with needing. But look closer, you are already surrounded by enough. The air entering your lungs, the sunlight touching your window, the quiet presence of someone who loves you, even if that someone is yourself. This is abundance. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It simply is. Psychologists today echo what the Buddha taught 2,500 years ago, that gratitude reshapes the brain. When you focus on what you have, your mind stops scanning for what's missing. You create a new default setting, contentment. Try this practice. Keep a small notebook by your bed. Each morning, write down one sentence. I am grateful for, and finish it with something simple. The smell of coffee, the sound of rain, the chance to begin again. Do this for 7 days, and you'll start to see your life not as something missing, but as something blooming. Because gratitude is not about pretending life is perfect. It's about remembering that you are still here, still breathing, still capable of love, of growth, of peace. You don't have to chase more to feel alive. You only need to notice what's already alive within you. In Zen stories, a monk once told his student, when you realize you lack nothing, the whole world belongs to you. That's the essence of enoughness, a heart so full it doesn't need to grab. So, the next time your mind whispers, I'm not enough, pause. Ask, according to whom? And you'll see the critic has no face, no truth, no power. Look around you right now. There's air to breathe. There's light to see. There's a heartbeat inside you, asking for nothing more than your attention. That's not scarcity, that's a miracle. When you walk through your day with this awareness, even the smallest things become sacred. A sip of water, a quiet smile, a moment of silence. You stop running after life and start living it. So, say it once more, with honesty and grace. I have enough, I am enough. And let that truth be the wealth that no world can take away. Stop searching for yourself in other people's approval. Stop waiting for permission to feel complete. Everything you've been looking for has always been inside you. In Buddhism, there's a teaching, the treasure you seek has been buried in your own house. We spend so much of our lives searching for meaning, love, validation, purpose. But like travelers circling the globe, we often end up right where we started, realizing the jewel was never lost. The modern world tells you to keep chasing. Chase productivity. Chase beauty. Chase happiness. But the Dharma whispers something different. Stop running, and you'll find you've arrived. Imagine a lantern covered in dust. Its light is still there, steady, bright, unbroken. But because of the dust, you can't see it. The light isn't gone, it's only hidden. Your peace is the same way. Your compassion, your wisdom, your strength, they never disappeared. They're simply waiting for you to wipe away the noise that covers them. So, tomorrow morning, when you wake up, sit quietly for a moment. Place your hand on your heart. Feel that soft, ancient rhythm that has never left you. And whisper, "Everything I need is already within me." As you say those words, notice what happens. Your breath deepens. Your shoulders drop. Your mind stops reaching for something outside. You come home to yourself. Because the truth is, no amount of achievement can replace inner peace. No amount of attention can fill the space that self-acceptance already occupies. In psychology, this realization is called internal locus of control. It's the belief that your strength doesn't depend on the outside world. People who live this way are calmer, more resilient, and more grounded. They are not easily shaken because their roots are inside. The Buddha once told a parable about a man crossing a river. He builds a raft and uses it to reach the other shore. Once he arrives, he carries the raft on his back, afraid to let it go. The Buddha smiled and said, "Why carry what has already carried you?" That raft is the external world, tools, opinions, possessions. They help you, but they are not you. You are the awareness that crosses the river. When you realize that everything you need is within you, the race ends. The pressure softens. The fear of not being enough dissolves because you finally understand you've never lacked anything essential. Try this. When you face a problem, before seeking advice, pause. Take one mindful breath and ask, "What does my calm self know?" You might be surprised. Your intuition, the quiet voice beneath the noise, already has the answer. Science calls it embodied wisdom. It's not mystical. It's the intelligence of your body, your emotions, your experience, all working together in silence. When you slow down enough to listen, it speaks. But here's the secret. You cannot hear your inner voice if you keep shouting over it with the world's noise. You can't feel your own power while comparing yourself to others. So silence isn't just rest, it's revelation. Sit in that silence each morning, even for a minute, and feel the quiet power growing inside you. The more you connect to it, the less you'll chase outside validation. You'll no longer beg for worthiness, you'll embody it. You'll stop needing to prove and start simply being. In Zen, they say, the wise man drinks from his own well. Your well is deep. Your water is clear. You just need to remember where you buried it. So when life feels uncertain and your mind races for control, return to this truth. You are not missing anything. You already are what you've been seeking. Close your eyes and say it softly. Everything I need is already within me. Let that phrase echo in your heart like a sacred mantra. And with every repetition, feel yourself becoming lighter, steadier, whole. Because when you finally stop searching outside, you awaken inside. And that awakening, that moment of inner recognition, is the purest form of enlightenment. The highest form of meditation is how you treat people. It's easy to find peace when you're alone. But the real test is when you enter the world. When you wake up each morning, whisper this intention to yourself. Let me be the cause of peace today. Those words are not just a wish, they are a commitment. A promise to meet the world with softness instead of sharpness. To bring calm where there is chaos. And compassion where there is conflict. In Buddhism, this is called metta bhavana, the cultivation of loving kindness. It means extending goodwill not only to yourself, but to every being you encounter. Even those who challenge you. even those who may never thank you. Because peace isn't a feeling you keep, it's a force you share. And every act of gentleness, no matter how small, ripples across the world. Picture your heart as a small lantern. Its flame steady, its light soft. As you move through the day, imagine that light spreading with every breath. When you smile at a stranger, the light grows. When you listen without interrupting, the light expands. When you choose patience over anger, the light brightens the path for others to walk. Even science agrees kindness heals. Acts of compassion release serotonin and oxytocin, the brain's peace chemicals. They lower stress, strengthen your heart, and quiet your mind. So every time you choose calm instead of chaos, you are literally rewiring the world for peace. But remember, being the cause of peace doesn't mean being silent or passive. It means acting with clarity, not cruelty. It means speaking truth with kindness. It means holding space for others, even when they cannot yet hold it for you. There's a story from the Buddha's life. Once, a man came to him, shouting, angry, filled with hate. The Buddha listened quietly. When the man finished, the Buddha said, "If someone offers you a gift, and you choose not to accept it, to whom does it belong?" The man paused. "To the one who offered it." The Buddha smiled. "Then I do not accept your anger." That is peace in action. Not resistance through force, but through understanding. Not submission, but mastery. So when your day begins to test you, when someone cuts you off, criticizes you, or meets your kindness with silence, remember, their chaos does not have to become yours. You can breathe once. Return to your center, and quietly say, "Let me be the cause of peace today." That single breath can change everything. Because the energy you bring into a room becomes the atmosphere everyone breathes. If you radiate calm, others begin to mirror it. If you choose kindness, others feel safer to soften. If you live with patience, even those in pain start to slow down. This is how peace spreads, not through speeches, but through presence. At night, when your day is done, take a quiet moment to reflect. Ask yourself, did I bring peace into the world today? Maybe it was just a smile. Maybe it was choosing silence instead of judgment. Maybe it was forgiving someone who never said sorry. No act is too small. And if there were moments when you didn't forgive that too, because peace is a practice, not perfection. Even your awareness of imbalance is the beginning of balance returning. Buddhism teaches that peace moves outward like the rings of water after a stone is dropped. Your calm touches your family. Your family's calm touches your community. And one day, that wave of stillness reaches someone you will never meet. That's how peace travels silently, endlessly, beautifully. So tomorrow morning, before the world begins to ask, "What will you do today?" ask yourself instead, "Who will I be today?" Will I be the flame or the smoke? The wave or the anchor? The noise or the calm behind it? You already know the answer. Because peace is not something you find, it's something you remember. So, say it once more, slowly, with intention. Let me be the cause of peace today. And as you carry that light into the world, watch how quietly it changes everything. Before you fall asleep tonight, take one quiet moment. No phone, no noise, just you and your breath. Whisper softly, "Today I tried to live awake." Because every time you choose awareness over autopilot, you change the direction of your life. Let's revisit the 7 truths that guided your morning and your heart. First, I begin again. Every sunrise is forgiveness from the universe. You are allowed to start fresh, endlessly, courageously. Second, my breath is my anchor. In every storm, there is stillness within your lungs. Return to it, and you return to yourself. Third, nothing controls me unless I let it. Peace is not freedom from chaos, it is freedom from reaction. Fourth, I choose kindness over perfection. You are not here to perform, you are here to awaken. Gentleness is your greatest strength. Fifth, I have enough, I am enough. Gratitude turns what you have into everything you need. Abundance begins the moment comparison ends. Sixth, everything I need is within me. You are the lantern. Your light has never gone out, only forgotten beneath the dust. Seventh, let me be the cause of peace today. Peace isn't something you find, it's something you create. With each breath, each word, each small act of love. These truths are not lines to memorize. They are directions back home. Back to the part of you that is still, kind, and infinite. The Buddha once said, "As the lotus rises from muddy water, so does the awakened heart rise from daily life." You don't need a monastery to live in peace. You only need awareness, one breath, one choice, one morning at a time. So tomorrow, when the sun returns, and it always does wake up with gratitude, feel the warmth on your skin. Take a deep breath, and let these words guide you again. I begin again. My breath is my anchor. Nothing controls me unless I let it. I choose kindness over perfection. I have enough. I am enough. Everything I need is within me. Let me be the cause of peace today. And when the world grows loud, come back to the silence that never left you. That silence is not empty. It's full of answers, patience, and grace. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. And becoming takes time. So rest now, gentle soul. Let the breath cradle you like a tide returning home. The night forgives you. Tomorrow will invite you again. And when it does, smile softly and remember, the most sacred words you can ever speak are the ones you whisper to your own heart. You are here. You are alive. And this moment right now is enough.